Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
The truth shall set you free.
You can't handle the truth.
We came, we saw, we kicked his ass.
That's not how the Force works. Oh, really? You're cold?
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Hasta la vista, baby.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know.
Hello, I am your host, Kenan, and welcome to the Creative Control Movie Podcast. Thanks very much for joining us on today's episode. We have a full house today. I've got 5 guests with me today because today we are doing a trailer reaction video, and it's not just one trailer, it's not 3, but it's 5. So we have got 5 trailer reaction videos coming at you today. We are going to be covering the Super Mario Brothers movie trailer number 2. We're going to be discussing Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. We've got Transformers, Rise of the Beast. We've got, what else have we got? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And last but not least, Cocaine Bear. So joining me on today's episode from the Creative Control team, we have Neil, Lee, Sal, Sacha, and Andreas. How are we doing?
Hey.
Good. And you?
Good. Very, very good. Thank you very much for joining me on this Sunday morning. I appreciate you giving up your spare time. And Andreas, it's good to see you back. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long while. I don't really have much time for this anymore, unfortunately. So I just saw an opportunity. So I'm at home on a Sunday, see the old crew, and chat movie trailers with them.
Chat movies, exactly. It's what we do best. So, yeah, just before we get into it, if you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell to get notified. We really appreciate the support. If you're not watching us on YouTube and you're listening to this podcast, you may want to pause that, jump over to YouTube because it's a trailer reaction video and you get to see 6 gorgeous men talk about movies. So, why wouldn't you do this? Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to watch our first trailer. So we're going to watch the trailer now together. And the first one's going to be the Super Mario Brothers movie trailer 2. And I say 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Not sure if you know who I am, but I'm about to rule the world.
Wow, yay.
But there's one problem. There's a human, has a mustache, just like you.
You think I know every human being with a mustache wearing an identical outfit with a hat with the letter of his first name on it? Because I don't.
Bowser is coming. Together, we are going to stop that monster.
How? Look at us. We're adorable.
Oh, I got this. No problem. Yes! Come on, Mario! Our big adventure begins now! Ah! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
There's a huge universe out there. Whoa. With a lot of galaxies. They're all counting on us.
Mario!
No pressure.
Right. That is Super Mario Brothers. Okay, let's get some reactions. I love it. I've got to say, I didn't think that they were going to potentially expand on the Mario universe so much in the first movie, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I see things in there from like Super Smash where he's like fighting Donkey Kong on that bridge. Obviously, you've got the Mario Kart in there. You've got the, like Super Mario World, I think, stuff in there. There's so many throwbacks and references to movies. Sacha will probably be able to break this down a lot better than I will. But for me, it just looks like a lot of fun. I still don't quite get the accent that Chris Pratt is going for. It's like when he says "let's go," it's like he's got trying to put an Italian twang to it, but then other points he doesn't, and I'm just not sure. We haven't heard enough of him speaking sentences to really grasp it. A lot of it's the ooch, ouch, oof, kind of stuff, and you got that nice woohoo at the end, which was cool. So I just don't quite know what to make out of it. But, it's strange for a Super Mario Brothers movie trailer where Luigi seems to have the longest lines in the trailer compared to Mario. But obviously Mario gets the more screen time. But, hey, we'll have to wait and see. I think I have to come to you, Sacha. Go for it.
Man, this trailer is hype. All kinds of hype. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, how depleted I've been of Marvel? Okay, for I don't know, a very long time. How I said, the best example was how I felt with the Eternal trailers. It's like the Eternal trailer. I was like, well, what the fuck is this other than a Marvel banner? Like, Nintendo just schooled them, the whole of Phase 4. They're like, this is us. This is what we do. This is Mario. You know who we are. Just go with it. Yeah, I mean, that's all I ever ask, if anything. If you've got something, go with it. They just they looked at Sonic. Sonic was like, okay, we're trying to be like this whole fucking real world thing, and then we're going to sprinkle little... No, Nintendo were like, none of that shit. They're just like, no, this is the Mario movie. We're going to give you fucking Super Mario, okay? And they fucking did it in spades, more than I...
Big credit to Illumination for delivering on the visuals.
Yeah, more than I could ever expect. Literally, as a fan... I'm a Nintendo fanboy, okay? Deep down, I haven't really been invested in Nintendo stuff since the Wii U because I thought that was a big letdown of the machine for myself personally, and I'm still behind on their games and stuff. But anything post Wii U, I've played everything, every game, every level, every Mario game. You know what I mean? With the exception of Sunshine, but. Galaxy 2, 1, 2, and 3, All Stars, Lost Levels, everything. I've played everything. That game, that trailer, biggest love letter for anything Nintendo. That opening at the start with Donkey Kong,
Buddy, are you crying?
Smash Brothers fight. Yeah, I am, man. Fuck. That 8-year-old in me was just like, fuck.
Okay.
Tears of joy. Wow, it's fucking mad. But that opening fucking Smash Brothers, the attention to detail, even in that very moment, you've got that is the Donkey Kong, the original OG stage of Donkey Kong. If you look at the camera back, you've got the barrels at the bottom. You've got, obviously that's the top where Donkey Kong throws the barrels and stuff. And then if you look deeper, you've got all the Kongs from Donkey Kong World, going Mario. Nice throwback. If you guys are old enough to remember when Super Mario Brothers 3 came out, there was the main advert for Super Mario 3 where everyone's just shouting, Mario, 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 Mario.
Yes.
Best throwback ever. You know what I mean? Because the fans have been wanting this, they didn't know they wanted it. Everyone's like, oh, Mario movie, it's going to suck. And wow, one frame, literally just smackdown. And on top of that, if you look in the background closely, because I've seen it a few times, you've got Diddy Kong, you've got Lanky Kong, you've got all the Kongs from Donkey Kong Country back there. You even have Cranky Kong on the throne. All the Kongs are there, man. And it's just there's just so many Easter eggs just in that one opening shot alone. Standout performance this trailer for me is Peach and Charlie Day. Charlie Day's Luigi, man. Comedic, on point. funniest moment in the whole trailer for me personally when he's with the mustache.
Pulls the sash.
Jokes. Absolute joke, man. And like fucking Mario Kart at the end, Rainbow Road, fucking, oh my God, did not expect that. Wanted it deep down, did not expect that, because it's like, of course it's on everyone's wish list. How are you going to do a Mario movie? You know what I mean? I like the now there's been a bit of thing online where it's like, oh, he's not rescuing Peach. Fuck those people. How many times has Peach been like a focus on a game? Mario Brothers 2, you got Mario, Toad, Peach, Luigi teaming up together on an adventure and stuff, and she's not. That's one of the few where she's not kidnapped. She has her own fucking game. She's part of the Mario Party. Why not? Maybe she gets kidnapped halfway through. I liked it when she when she means the business and has that other outfit. That's her Mario Kart outfit from Mario Kart 8. You know, so when she tools up Toad, all the Toads, fantastic. Who's voicing Toad? Is it Kenan Michael Keys? Am I saying his name right? Yeah. Yeah. Boss wins. Everything about this trailer. Everything. I've not felt this much hype since The Phantom Menace. I'm not going to lie. Like, the closest is probably Endgame. I'm not going to lie. Like, not in my wildest dreams did I ever think a Mario movie would be this good. Like, hands down. 8-year-old me has just woken up and just been like, fuck. These kids have it too good, man. The thing to mention, though, is, like, I like the character models that they've made it more cartoony, because they've actually based the look on the original Miyamoto designs when he was designing the game. Especially, like, you know, when he's, like, at the end of the ball and he's screaming and he's, like, all kind of cartoony. That's actually an image straight out of the manual. Like, straight out the manual of the game, with the same art style.
Wow. So
they've taken like some liberties to incorporate some of like Miyamoto-san's drawings and stuff. Oh my God. It's just too good. It's the biggest love letter, like, by what I see.
This is an example.
Go on, Sash. The only thing I can hope for is that, you know, it's actually a good movie and not just loads of Easter eggs. I just pray there's substance to it, if that makes sense, as a film. But otherwise, they've really rammed the hype train home. And even if I was cynical about even this trailer, anyone that was cynical about Chris Pratt cannot deny the amount of effort they're trying to get you to go in. And considering that Universal are banking on this being a success, because they're opening up the Super Mario Worlds in California, Universal Parks. My God, man, I need to go.
If it's anything like the one in Japan, you might shed a tear of joy when you get there.
It's this is a perfect example of a studio and an original creator collaborating together, you know, to really fulfill their vision rather than just taking a franchise and doing what they want to do with it, you know, and to have the original input from the original creator and everybody at Nintendo that's been involved in it. I think that's a huge credit to Illumination. And to be fair, Nintendo, I don't think would have done it if they didn't have the amount of property control and input they've had, because I'm sure that there's been studios over the years who've been wanting to do this kind of stuff, but they wanted creative control basically over the project. So I think that, you know, Nintendo are a perfect example of a creative control team where it's like, you know what, these are characters, they're important to us, and we want a big say in it. So Lee, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. The only Nintendo console I had was the Game Boy. That's all I had. But I played Mario on it all the time. It was like one of my favourite games. But other than that, I never really owned another Nintendo after that. Obviously Satch knows everything about it. So I don't know too much about like all of the characters and the storylines, everything behind it. But it looks like a lot of fun, and I think it's very difficult because obviously, like you say, Satch saying it brings the 8-year-old out in him, but I guess it's they want to bring in new 8-year-olds, if you know what I mean, into it as well. So it looks like they've got that nostalgia, and obviously bringing in getting new fans. So it's a very difficult one, but it looks like they've got that right. I'm not a big like I don't watch a lot of animation, and like I enjoyed Sonic because obviously he had different worlds and there was that sort of real life interaction. So I really enjoyed Sonic. So I was a little bit, am I going to enjoy the animation? But the animation looks so good, and like Sacha says, with all the storylines, it looks really, really involved, and I think everyone's going to enjoy it. The only thing I might say is because obviously they're like you said, there seems to be so many plots going on and so many storylines from the games. I wonder whether they're throwing everything into this movie rather than maybe trying to play the long game. Like obviously, so I've not played the game, so I don't know how many storylines and everything that there is. But from what Sacha was saying, you know, they're sort of ticking all the boxes and all the favourite points from the games. So I hope that they don't put all their eggs in one basket into this movie, and then, you know,
they don't leave them anywhere else to go.
Exactly. But no, the trailer's great, and I really enjoyed the trailer, and hopefully, enjoy the movie.
Okay, Neil, what about you?
I have never seen a trailer outside of the first Avengers trailer or Avengers or Avengers Infinity War, where I've looked at it and been like, every single thing you needed to hype me to watch it is in there. And if I'm honest, from the standpoint of someone who, like, you know, is old enough to remember Super Mario 3, you know, all the way to now, I'm like, you've incorporated everything. There's nothing in, and I'm like, you've incorporated stuff that every generation of Mario fan can be like, that's for me. I remember that. That's mine. That's my bit. That's my bit. You know, from the whole thing of the Donkey Kong, you got like so I've like sparingly played Smash Brothers, but I'm like, you start out with Smash Brothers, which is arguably one of the biggest draws because you don't have to be solely a Mario fan to like Smash Brothers. Yeah. You could come into Smash Brothers because you're a Star Fox fan or whatever else that you're into, right? And then that draws you in and like, oh shit, did they make a Smash Brothers movie? And then no, it's a Mario movie. And like you said, you got Mario Kart, you got Mario Galaxy. In fact, I like the fact that, if I remember it correctly, the cover art for Super Mario Galaxy has that Frozen Kingdom bit in it.
Oh yeah.
And so just the fact that the timing of when Peach is like, oh, there's a lot of different galaxies, and you see that, you know,
I love how they
that part of the kingdom.
I love how that in that exact moment when she mentions galaxies, they show the world map of, you know, They actually have like a world map kind of thing, and it's like, wow, if you remember any Mario game post Mario 3 onwards, you always have a world map, and they actually have all the kingdoms and stuff, like how it would be in the game and stuff. And there's just so many little references. Even when, I'm going to call it, you know, when you've got Mario and Luigi and they're like, you know, Mario goes to grab his hands and stuff. I think that's the exact moment when they go down the drain into the Mushroom Kingdom and they get separated. That's what I'm calling it.
Yes.
I think that's...
because if you go back to the first trailer, Mario pops out of sort of like a green pipe and they seem to be separated. So yeah, you're right. I think that's the moment where they actually go into the new world.
And plus, like, if you play the Galaxy games, that's kind of that whole like image is straight out of them when you're going from one planet to the other, kind of thing. So I'm kind of wondering whether that's like the inspiration there. But yeah, it looks tight.
What's the Mario game where he's kind of like in the real world?
In the real world?
Yeah, it's like a city and stuff.
Oh, the new one.
I have no idea.
I think that's the latest one. Mario. I don't know what the latest one. The one on Switch. It's the one on Switch where he's got the cat.
Right. So I think that's where it's going to start. So it's going to be him and Luigi in the real world. They're going to be doing the plumbing stuff, and then it's going to move from that game into what we see in the trailer. So I think because if you look at the teaser poster, I think you see a little bit of that in there as well. So I think,
they're in a seat.
Yeah, so it's like new and like modern. So that's where it's going to sit, and then then it'll get that transformation. Sal, what do you think of it?
Well, I liked them, man. It reminded me of Mario Brothers, essentially, because I never had a Nintendo or Super Nintendo, but I do remember that there was a kid, my neighbor, I think he was from Texas, and he had it, and because my parents didn't give what I call. No, it's not the parents' thing. I couldn't give a shit about actually buying what I call a video game console. I like playing outside. It was his house we went to play Nintendo, and and when he bought a Nintendo, he got Super Mario, and we played all the games at his house, and it just reminded me of that. And now my nephew's playing it, and he loves to go into the arcade and playing the Super Mario. What it called the racing? What's it called again? The racing one?
Mario Kart,
exactly. So he's loved playing that, and we play it all the time. Now in Harrow, they have an arcade now, so every Friday after school, we go and play Mario Kart. So, and he loved it. It looks exactly like what you see on the screen of the video game. So, the identification was right there. He knew what was what, who's what, and what they're going to do. So the excitement from the kid I saw, and what I recognized as a kid. So, I'm going with an open. What I call not looking for something. I just want to go and enjoy the thing, and I hope it is a good story. Yeah, that's basically it. Just recognize everything. That's like what Sacha said, but also the fact that I don't actually know any of the stories. I do remember what the games were, especially like the first Mario and the second Mario and the first one that came out of Super Nintendo. But I don't think I've played it since then until recently with the Mario Kart. So yeah.
I think the storyline.
The same. I played Mario, I think 1, 2, and 3, and then went to Mario Kart, and that was it. So, yeah. But anyway, we'll kind of wrap this trailer up because we've got another 4 to do. So, but what I would say is, if you're a fan of Nintendo, go check out the movie 8-Bit Christmas. It came out last year, 2021. It's not only is it a great Christmas movie, it's a great nostalgia movie. And if you're a Nintendo fan or just a fan of game consoles, like when you were a kid, grew up and born like in the 80s, this is the movie for you. It's so much fun. It's got a lot of heart. And I'd really encourage you to go see that film. And it's Christmas almost. So now's the perfect time. Okay, we are going to move on to the next trailer. And the next trailer we're going to be looking at is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So we're going to load the trailer up. And we're going to launch it in 3, 2, 1.
I miss the desert. I miss the sea. And I miss waking up every morning, wondering what wonderful adventure the new day will bring to us.
Those days have come and gone.
Perhaps not.
I don't believe in magic. But a few times in my life, I've seen things I can't explain. And I've come to believe it's not so much what you believe. How hard you believe it.
Who is this man?
I'm her godfather.
Related.
Get back!
That was some trailer, I have to say. It's Harrison Ford. How old is he now? He's 80,
800
right?
years old.
No, I don't know how much. He's 80, and I don't know how much he's actually physically doing in this movie. But I know they've been talking about recasting this character over the years, rebooting, Chris Pratt and Bradley Cooper and stuff like that. You just can't beat seeing him back in the jacket and hat. Do you know what I mean? There's just Harrison Ford is Indy, and I'm wondering whether he's had something in his contract in this last one to say, what, if you do this, we will never reboot this movie franchise because I don't want anybody else playing Indiana Jones. I'm happy for a son, a sidekick, anybody else to kind of take on the franchise after that, but don't replace Indy. The fact that he's doing it again now at the age of 80 is just phenomenal. So
it's just come out. It's just come out that they're not. Yeah, it's just come out that they're not recasting. They're not recasting. They're going to take it as the final movie. After this movie, they're looking to do TV shows with like a younger Indy, if that makes sense. Not set prior Raiders. Maybe like another stab at the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles kind of thing for a modern day audience. But they're not going to do Indiana Jones as we know him because they're like, it's Harrison Ford. Or at least that's what they're saying now until he croaks it. I don't know. But
that's what they're saying now. Unfortunately, unfortunately, when Harrison passes, then who knows? You have certain studio heads at Disney now. Obviously, they've had Bob Iger come back. But in 5-10 years, who knows going to be making those decisions. Unless there's something contractually where it says, you know what, we're not going to recast that specific role for 10, 15 years, then that's something that can stop it. But otherwise, you can never say never.
Maybe the Dial of Destiny opens up a multiverse and there's another Indy.
Oh, God.
It's all possible.
That's some good thinking. That's some good thinking.
And then comes Tom Selleck.
Neil, what's your thoughts on the trailer?
Holy shit. Okay. How can I sum this up? I think it's weird. So the trailer didn't wow me. However, the idea of the story wowed me in as much as, because I feel like when I watch a film that is like, it's like a legacy sequel to a film, it's like, and you have the characters who are, they were in the originals, and they're like, those days are behind us. We're old now. I kind of feel like, I mean, technically, none of us are old, but in the way that we've watched certain films, we've grown up with certain films. We were watching films before certain trends are what they are now. You kind of feel old when you think of like, we grew up watching Indiana Jones on VHS or on like ITV, or, it's Christmas time right now, and it was like, looking at the TV guide, what movie's coming on, at what day, at what time, So when he's like, I'm too old for this, I kind of feel like, I understand what you mean. in regards to like watching films and stuff. So when you see Indy and Salah, and he's like, those days are beyond us, and it's like, nah, maybe I've got one last adventure. It makes me think of another film when you're like, I'm too old for this shit.
I think we're visiting sort of like Indy, retired from, in terms of the adventure side. He's gone back to college, he's doing his stuff, and from the trailer it looks like he's doing space exploration, because I think it's based in like 69. And he's talking,
that was a submarine kind of thing.
I think it's to do with the space shuttle and the space launch, because apparently then there's going to be part of the story is going to be potentially the infiltration of ex-Nazis into the NASA space program and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
so it kind of leads into the fact that he's got that knowledge there. But it looks like he's not doing that anymore. Like one more adventure. Now, obviously, we see de-aging in this this trailer. Okay, so. Lee, do you think we're going to have flashbacks, or do you think there's actually going to be an element of time travel in this movie?
Time travel.
The Dial of Destiny.
I did suggest the multiverse. Time travel. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be a fan of that. I hope it's just flashbacks. and that would just aid the storyline. So I don't know. Do you know if this is a new sort of fresh story, or is this a story that's been told previously?
Fresh story.
Or is, you know,
fresh story.
Fresh story. Okay. So yeah, hopefully it's just an aid to, you know, whatever's going on in this storyline. I think time travel might be a bit. I don't know. Indiana don't. I don't think I'd be too keen on that. Well, then I guess you never know how it's done.
What do you think of the trailer as a whole?
I think they alluded to it because, you know, when he's there's so much talk about the past and about the present in it, and he's like, our days are behind us, and he's like, maybe not. So I kind of feel like, you know, maybe the dial is dealing with time travel.
The whole trailer is very
Sacha,
vague.
what do you think of the trailer? Go on, Sal. Go on, Karen.
No, I was just saying the trailer, the whole thing is very vague. I mean, it just keeps on making contradictory statements, you know, like what just Neil just said, you know, past and the future and this and that. I mean, the action scenes looks kind of fun. I am happy that they got rid of the stupid brown tinge, that filter they were using in the previous film. I mean, it's still there in some of the scenes, but that bothered me throughout the whole thing. They wanted to make it look old. They just put brown filter over top of every damn thing. I mean, it doesn't really work. But in any case, yeah. Other than that, I just hope it has a better ending than the last 3 films, because I did not grow up with Indiana Jones like most of you guys did, because the first one came out before.
You just said the last 3 films.
Man, I never liked the endings of any of the Indiana films. That's my own thing. This is going to be another argument. I know. But see, I never grew up with Indiana Jones. I watched all of them. I watched all of them when I moved to the UK. Technically, I mean, I had only seen the first one when I was as a teenager, but I hadn't seen the rest of them. And I watched all of them, I think, over Christmas break when they came on TV over here when I was living here, when I moved here. So I don't have that, you know, connection with it like you guys do. But I had found myself that I got bored at the end of at least the last 3. I mean, the last one was the alien thing, which I don't know where the hell that came from. But I know that even Sacha agreed with me, because he went, what the hell's going on? Because I was sitting next to him when we were watching this. And but that said, I enjoy all of them when they start. And they start with amazement, you know, full of adventure. But I feel, this is all my opinion, that it sort of trails off at the end. The first one was great. The rest of them I'm not a massive fan of, just because of the endings. Not that the film itself weren't great. The endings I did not like. So I'm hoping this is the ending. If this one I will like. But other than that, when it comes to the de-aging, it looks fun. I mean, it could be they might do the time travel thing, because I mean, technically all films were not supernatural, but ended up supernatural. You know? So this could be the supernatural element of this one. Let's see. But I'm excited. Let's see what happens. Especially I'm excited at the fact that it's on a Marvel movie, is something different. Adventure. I love adventure films. So I'm hoping good things from it.
Sacha, what's your thoughts?
It's an all right teaser trailer as far as teasers go. My only complaint is that why are they? What's it with modern day trailers fucking with John Williams' theme, man? Like, don't get some imitator, just get John Williams. As much as people shit on the fucking Crystal Skull, rewatch the Crystal Skull trailers. They're boss level trailers, all of them. Yeah. Great trailers.
This is John Williams. This is John Williams' music. He's scoring the movie.
I know he's scoring the movie, but that's not him scoring the trailer. That's not him scoring the trailer. I could tell.
They're going for the theme tune.
I could tell
they're going for
by
a theme tune to make it epic in nature. Yeah. So it's the tone of the music is to show the grandness of the movie and this kind of this big epic final conclusion, rather than the fast upbeat tempo of that tune through the movie. You'll get that in the movie, no doubt.
Oh yeah,
I understand why they did it for the trailer.
Yeah, totally. I'm just saying that I really dig it in the trailer. I get what they're trying to do, but for me, it just didn't work. But that aside, the other thing that didn't work about the trailer is like, what the hell were they doing with that CGI old man Ford on the horse, man? If the effect shot ain't ready, don't put it out there, okay? Because that looked like PS3 graphics. You know when he's on the horse and it like gets up? That ain't Harrison Ford, okay? That's not even convincing. That's like PS1 graphics, PS2 graphics almost, man. It was so bad, man. But that aside, yeah, the de-aging looked on point, okay? And like they're saying like it's the first 15 minutes where it's in the past kind of thing. And hey, look, I beg you, Lucasfilm, man, just one more time, man, for the fans, man. Fate of Atlantis. Adapt this, okay? Adapt this fucking thing, okay? With the DH Harrison Ford, I'm there all day, every day. Just do it. Just fucking do it. And then maybe make one more because you got the tech and it'll be cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's where they're going. Like Sash says, you know, the opening of the movie, it's a flashback, it's set before, and it shows where Indiana is kind of incorporated, you know, his history with the Nazis, where he is, why he ties into it. And then obviously then it comes to present day, he's teaching, he's out of it, and then comes into it. So it very much could be, you know, time travel's not a thing, and it's just like the opener of the movie. But you know, we won't know until we see it.
One thing I will say, ain't it great to have John Rhys Davies back as Shala? Because he was, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of the things I loved about The Last Crusade, because obviously you had the Temple of Doom, and we all love the Temple of Doom. I mean, like, except for Salman, but, you know, like, that for a lot of people that I know, Temple of Doom was our entry indie kind of thing, because like I remember it coming on late night on BBC Two when I was in Elm Grove, and this was back when you had 4 channels, and that was the movie of the night, and everybody saw it. Everyone in my age group saw it. I came back to school the next day. That was the film everyone was talking about. Like, yeah, did you see the thing with the heart and all of this stuff? And that was probably what got me into Indiana Jones in the first place, like Temple of Doom. And then, obviously, I found out that I already had Raiders on VHS because my dad taped it. And then, yeah, I mean, the rabbit hole began. And then I saw Last Crusade as a kid. But, yeah, Salah was missing. I digress. My point was Salah was missing in Temple, but then, you know, him and Marcus show up in Last Crusade, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's a big callback to that first film and stuff. And then he's missing in Crystal Skull. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of like a bit saddened that he wasn't there, if that makes sense. Because John Rhys Davies always pops up every now and again in everything. So to have him there at the start, I was like, yeah, okay, Salah's back. I'm in. Okay, but what's it? Goddaughter, right? I wonder who. Yeah. I wonder who is it? Salah, or could it be Marcus Brody? Do you think it's a callback to Marcus Brody? You reckon?
Could be.
I think that'll be interesting. I wonder if they got a CGI. What's his name? Danum Elliott. I can't pronounce his name, but I wonder if it's that guy that plays Marcus that's in Trading Places. Because those are only 2 films I've seen that cat in, Trading Places and Indiana Jones. But anyway.
What do we think's happened to Indiana Jones's son?
Doesn't
I
exist.
think they're still about. I saw a wedding ring. So family's still about. I think she's in the movie. I think she's in the movie. I don't think he is, but she's in the movie.
I think they may just completely ignore it, not refer to it.
Yeah, just like he's at college in like some other part of the country.
Yeah, it could be.
And you know,
done. Yeah,
and how to go maybe.
So we're not expecting Shia LaBeouf to pop up in this movie.
No, not at all.
You know what, though? Can I just point out one thing though? That I loved the callback to Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know when the brothers like swinging a sword about, and then obviously Indy just shoots him. The fact that Indy just swinging the whip, get back, and everybody just drills the gun.
Drills out the gun. Yeah, that was a great callback. That was a great callback. Yeah, really,
His
really.
Facial expressions are classic.
Yeah,
like, you know, it's
And that
No
shows
one
a sign
can
of
do
good
a face
actor.
like that.
That shows a sign of good actor that Harrison Ford is, because in real life he does not have those expressions.
No.
He's not a happy man. he's a miserable son of a bitch, and you never see him fucking smile. Really. So when you actually get those reactions in the movie, it's like, yeah. But
have you seen the Mark Hamill impression of Harrison Ford?
Yes.
That's funny.
Absolutely spot on. Yeah, I mean, look, for me, Indiana Jones, again, it's one of those franchises that isn't necessarily dear to my heart because I didn't necessarily grow up watching those particular movies. So whenever there's like a top 10 of movies of all time, there's never an Indiana Jones movie in my ranking because I'm not that close with the character. But it's not to say that I don't enjoy the movies and appreciate them and, I've had fun with them and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't have the same love. So for me, this is, again, it looks like it's going to be a really enjoyable film. I'm up for it. But it's not going to hurt me if it fails. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, same.
I'm protecting myself.
Same.
I'm protecting myself. Any other thoughts on Indy before we move on?
We got 3 great movies, so even if this is a dud, like that's not gonna disdain my taste in the franchise.
Still is 3-2.
Yeah. No, but you know what? No, but you know what? It's like this, okay? Like with characters like James Bond and Indiana Jones, okay? Every now and again you're gonna have a dud, and you know what they do? You know what the best thing about James Bond is? They just plow through. Yeah, there was a Quantum of Solace, all right, whatever the hell that movie was. I saw it recently. But you know what?
I don't care. I prefer Quantum of Solace over Skyfall, and I don't care. I'll stand on that hill.
Okay,
Skyfall, Skyfall is a crap movie.
Skyfall had a plot. Okay, if you can tell me what the plot is to Quantum of Solace,
bad guy wants to kill M, guy kills M. Done. That was the plot, and it happened. James Bond had nothing to do with that. He achieved nothing.
But that was more of a plot than the whole of Quantum of Solace. I'm just saying, like Quantum of Solace, was just random action scenes and not even filmed well. But anyway, I digress. That's a different. That's a whole different thing. That's my point. For another time. But my point is like whenever there's like a Die Another Day, okay, can we all agree Die Another Day is bad?
Fair enough.
That's awful.
You get, you push through, you get a Casino Royale, like they.
Yeah, GoldenEye.
Bond has always had that dud movie every now and again, but they just push forward, and audiences just want to see that character back doing his thing. You know what I mean? And had Indiana Jones had gone on and not had the constraints of it just being Harrison Ford, I reckon that's exactly what the franchise would have done. It just would have pushed forward with a new story, new actor, whatever, and we just would have had more fun adventures. But it was gatekept by three people for so long. One guy didn't, two, and most of the time 2 out of 3 people didn't want to do it. Like Crystal Skull took so long because Spielberg didn't want to do it. Hell, Lucas was done, but Ford wanted to do it so badly because he's an actor and he realizes the wealth of that character, and staying in employment. Because Ford during the early 2000s needed Indy more than Lucas and Spielberg needed to do another movie. He was just like, can we do another Indiana Jones? I need work. I need that 25 million paycheck. You know what I mean? And when Lucas was done with Star Wars, he was just like, literally, when he was done with Star Wars, he was just like, you know what? Like, yeah, fuck it. I've got this little idea about crystal skulls. Let's do that. And then Spielberg was the one. He rolled his eyes. It's like, fucking aliens? Like, really? And then he kept, but now he's got 2 people after him. And then, he gave in. He gave in to the, which was the lesser of the idea. They should have come up with something better, but is what it was. It is what it is. But anyway, next.
So moving on, so we got our next trailer, which is Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. So strap in for this one. It's Autobots roll out in 3, 2, 1.
It was all a dream.
I'm not the one to fear, Prime. There is a darkness coming.
It was all a dream.
Pull over! I'm not driving!
And if you don't know, now you know. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. And if you don't know, now you know. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call the Prince, same number, same hood. It's all good.
Of all the threats, from both your past and future,
It was all a dream.
you've never faced anything like this. Let them come.
And if you don't know, now you know.
This can't be real. This can't be real. Oh, okay, it's real.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed that. So, look. The Transformers franchise went down, with each installment, and was it the last night? That was pretty shocking. But I really loved Bumblebee. I thought that was fantastic. It's kind of a throwback, kind of alien, out of place, kind of ET style model. Do you know what I mean? And it was just like it was really great. That opening 10 minutes when they're on Cybertron was like everything we ever wanted to see in a live action Transformer movie, even though it's all mainly CG. But that was fantastic. And this is it's trying to do something different. I think we're really let down by the Dinobots in the franchise. And, they're trying to, bring in Beast Wars and make that a thing. There's a whole generation who grew up with that as their Transformers. So, it makes sense for the direction. I'm not sure exactly where in the timeline this fits, because Bumblebee is, even though it's kind of a soft reboot, it was a prequel to the original movies. But he did change from the Beetle to the Chimera by the end. And obviously we see Bumblebee as a Chimera in this. But Optimus seems to have changed slightly from Bumblebee, but he hasn't got to the progression of where he was in the first Transformers movie. So it's apparently set in the 90s. So it is that's still a prequel. So, but I'm not sure how it's going to lead into the fact that, Megatron was asleep, so who's the main threat, who's going to be the villains, and how all that's going to kind of play out. But just to touch on some of the appearances and characters we're going to get in this movie before I get your reactions. So we're going to have Peter Dinklage. He's voicing Scourge. We've got Liza Koshy as RC. It's great to see her in live action after the animated movie. We've got John DiMaggio of sort of like Bender fame. He's done voices for many cartoons. As the voice of Stratosphere. We've got David Sobolov as Rhinox and Battletrap. We've got other characters in this appearing. We've got Nightbird. We've got Wheeljack. We've got Reek. We've got Mirage. Obviously, Optimus Prime and Peter Cullen is returning. So we've got a lot of characters, and hopefully some screen time for some of the classic favorites like Mirage and stuff like that. So, and Wheeljack, which is kind of great to see. So I really dug the trailer. I thought it was great. I think Ron Perlman is playing what's the ape called? I have no idea. I was never a Beast Wars person, but
Optimus Primal.
Optimus Primal, yeah, I think it isn't. It isn't Ron Perlman. Who am I thinking of? One sec. Yeah, Ron Perlman. He's Optimus Primal. Yeah, exactly. So, So, Lee, what were your first thoughts on the trailer? Did you even know this movie was coming?
I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, no, it was. seems to obviously going to be action packed. Love the sound effects, always have done when I transform. A lot of characters. It looks like to me it looks like it's going to be more focused on the on the Transformers and not so much on the actual maybe human character element. I'm not sure. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. So I can't, to be honest, apart from the first one, I couldn't really tell you what happens in the other Transformer movies. The first one was okay, and then I think I kind of lost interest really. Hopefully this one will pull it back.
Yeah, I think from like the third one onwards, you could argue that they kind of blend together. It'd be hard for some people to separate what happens in each particular movie. The only one I know, the last one, because you had that stupid sword, Optimus Prime being bad, and the whole Merlin dinosaur crap going on. So yeah. But anyway, Neil, what did you think of the trailer?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I think it's a step. I think it's a step backwards. I think Bumblebee. Admittedly, I would say, well, where else could you go? But a bigger spectacle. Bumblebee was very much a step in the right direction. As in, all right, let's ground it. There's I think there's 5 Transformers in the entire movie once they reach Earth. And it's it's nice because it's grounded. It's just plain. It's like, okay, here we go.
There's 5?
But
I thought there was 4.
The fact that no, because there's the one he kills when he lands. Once they're Earth, so there's the 2 that are running around. There's Bumblebee. There's the one he kills when he first arrives, who jams up his voice. And then
I'm talking about movies. I'm talking about movies. I thought, you were talking about...
he was talking about the number of Transformer characters in Bumblebee.
Yeah. Okay, but, sorry, man.
Yeah, but it's... No, that's cool. But I think the problem that I have with it... I have 2 problems. One is a purely aesthetical, and it doesn't matter. It's just like this one thing, is because the trailer has that Notorious B.I.G., they've like sampled Juicy and put it in. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit because the lyrics of the song, I'm not saying that every song and every lyric has to match perfectly with whatever you're doing in the trailer, but what is happening in the song and the lyrics that they're using, the lyrics that they're taking to put in the trailer don't match up in any way, shape, form, or capacity with what's happening in the trailer. Because they keep using the part where it's like, it was all a dream, it was all a dream. I was like, well, it's not a fucking dream.
It's happening. Yeah, right? It's supposed to be happening now.
Yeah. And it's not like, even like, oh, it was a dream for this kid to get a Transformer. It really wasn't. Right? So it's not matching. I think the other problem I have is so far in this small teaser trailer, I'm not seeing anything to do with, is it Haley Stansfield? Is that her name? I'm not seeing anything to do with her.
I don't think she's in it. Her story ended in the last one. Bumblebee drove off, they said their goodbyes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Is it a sequel to that or not? Is Bumblebee just its own separate thing on its own?
It's a movie that can be seen on its own. Obviously it's set after Bumblebee because that was set in the 80s and this is kind of set in the 90s. So Bumblebee's been around. He's, so it's more of a case of it is set after, but it's not necessarily a direct sequel that you have to see the other one. It's just its own movie. It's just happened to be set afterwards. And I think maybe that's why they've tried to use the Notorious song to kind of represent that 90s vibe. But when you sample the music in that way, it doesn't quite work. Yeah, I agree.
No, maybe they're saying that all the previous Transformer movies
were a dream.
Yeah, it was all a dream. This is the real one.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. I have one issue with the trailer. Not another issue with the trailer. If I'm correct, part of the film is set in New York, and that means it's set in New York in the 90s. They showed you the Empire State Building, I believe it was. But I'm like, there is obviously another building or buildings that were around in the 90s that are not around now. And I'm like, do you really want to show that I mean, obviously, it's been 20 years since those unfortunate events, but
I mean, it wasn't in the trailer, was it? The towers.
No, it was.
They'll just avoid that shot. They'll avoid that
Yeah.
shot. It's on the other side of New York, so they don't have to show it. Sacha, what do you think?
I'm transformed out, man. Like, I'm not bothered. The trailer did nothing for me. I just feel that the IP's just run its course to the ground. That's just how I feel personally. I'll watch the movie with, like, if everyone goes, hey, Transformers, we're watching it, then I'll watch it. But to be honest, I'm in the mindset of I couldn't care less if I watched it on my TV at home. I know that's blasphemy, but that's just kind of how I feel about Transformers right now. Sure. I enjoyed Bumblebee. I really enjoyed Bumblebee. But in terms of the main franchise going forward, I just don't care. If this is a prequel, then fine. I mean, like, a lot of the information that I'm gathering off the movie has been with you guys just talking and stuff. I was never into Beast Wars growing up. That was when I tailed off the franchise, like off its original incarnation and stuff. I do like the fact that they're not replacing Prime. I don't know much of the lore around Beast Wars, but I always thought Primal was supposed to be Prime, but like a remake or whatnot. But now I'm understanding that no, it's just a different time frame, so it's a different robot entirely. Which now that I've got more clarity on that, that's okay, cool. So my favorite character can exist with this guy. All right, that's cool. Let's kind of see what they do with these characters and stuff. But I don't really know anything about them, and I'll watch it, but the excitement level's not there for me. For me, if they went into Unicron and stuff like that, that's stuff I know. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But in terms of hype levels and stuff, I'm just done with Transformers. There was nothing in there to make me want to see it, other than, hey, look, we've shown you the same trick we've showed you for the past decade. It was just lacking something for me personally.
I get that. I mean, there's probably going to be a huge generation of people out there who grew up with Beast Wars because obviously we're all G1s. Yeah. So
the age
of
like my
G1s.
friends. Like a good friend of mine and Kenan's, my friend Mally, he's like 10 years younger than me. So Beast Wars was his Transformers. And I was playing COD with him the other day, and he was really excited when he saw that trailer. He was like, wow, Optimus Prime or whatever, you know what I mean? And he was nuts about it. He was like, because they're finally doing his version of Transformers.
Exactly.
But for me, I'm just, for me, obviously Beast Wars was something which made me not want to see it. I was like, we'll see. But now, from listening from all you guys talk about what it actually is and stuff, I'm like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. But I'm still waiting for the spark to ignite for me to go, oh my god, this is amazing. Maybe when trailer 2 comes, maybe they'll cut a kick-ass trailer and cool. But as now, I'm just kind of Transformers out. Like, even like the recent Netflix, even the recent Netflix films that, I know Chris and Ken were going mad about it when it came out. But I watched like a good half of 3/4 of it, and I switched off in the first one. I just didn't care. And that sounds crazy. I just honestly didn't care. I was just like,
I was going to touch on that actually, because I was going to say, like, the War for Cybertron series on Netflix for me is the best thing since G1 that Transformers have done. I thought it was it was in 3 parts, and the third part actually covers like Beast Wars. If you were to watch that, so there may be the generation who grew up on Beast Wars. I don't know how many people have really been exposed to War of Cybertron on Netflix. I think it's a very underrated series and not many people know about it. But if you watch that, that'll probably lend a lot more into what potentially we're going to be getting coming forward as well, because you get a crossover of G1 and Beast Wars within that. So that's probably something they're going to be feeding into. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, the War for Cybertron series on Netflix, go watch it. It is fantastic. No Peter Cullen doing Optimus Prime. Is actually, I think, a young boy who got famous by doing an impersonation. He ended up on like Ellen and stuff like that. And then he ended up getting cast as Optimus Prime in this reboot. And, he's fantastic. So Sal, what did you think of the trailer?
Man, the first thing I thought was like, oh no, they're doing animals now, so they won't have any cars anymore. We're just animals fucking around. That's all I thought.
That's what I mean, man. That's what I mean.
My first thing like there's a gorilla.
This is Transformers meets the web bullshit.
It's gonna be a gorilla. You know what it came? That flick. What was the flick? I think is it Dwayne Johnson's flick? I can't remember. There's a gorilla and there's a fucking alligator.
Oh, Rampage! Yes, Transformers meets Rampage.
Exactly. I'm like, that's gonna be it. It's gonna be an alligator and a gorilla and a fucking, I don't know, some sort of massive eagle they'll be fighting. I mean, dude, it seems like
it's actually Jurassic World 4.
Yeah. There's so many of them, man.
The ultimate crossover.
Yeah. I mean, after the first 2-3 of them...
Yeah, dinosaurs got so advanced they became machines.
Exactly. Like, after the first 2-3 movies, I mean, when Sacha
that would be a cool movie.
That would be fun, because it will be just mind-boggling, just action and killing and Rampage, essentially. After Sacha said there were 5 of them, I had to look at them up and go like, there were actually 5. Because I couldn't remember them.
Yeah.
The last 2 melded into one, you know? And
yeah, agreed.
It seems like,
agreed. I was like,
exactly.
5? Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously we got the OG, which we all know. Then the second one was Revenge of the Fallen, right?
Oh, that was sad.
Yeah, which Megatron's got this boss, and he's a bitch in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which was just shocking. Then the third one, is that Dark Side of the Moon?
Yeah.
That wasn't
which was
so
better.
bad.
Which was better.
Yeah,
that was like Shia LaBeouf's last one, right?
Yeah.
And then what was the fourth one then?
I can't remember. It was Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was it not just called?
Oh, so The Last Night. Okay.
No, that's number 5. The Last Night is the last one.
Yeah, so what's the
Last Night? Is that the one where he sword fights with Megatron and it makes no sense?
Yeah, so the last one is the last one you've got is
Age of Extinction.
Age of Extinction. That's right. That's where the Dinobot shot for the first time, right?
I have no clue, man.
No, that's The Last Night.
Really? What the hell is it? See, this is where I'm saying between
those two films.
Age of Extinction is where the Dinobots show up.
Right, that's what, and they're fighting like Japan or Tokyo or something. Right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's the fourth one, and then the fifth one is where they go medieval and they show like the Crusades and Merlin, and apparently there was like.
And Bumblebee was in World War II and all sorts.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I don't remember any of this.
Then right at the end, they show that they think that the Earth is like Unicron or some bullshit, trying to set up another movie. So yeah.
But anyway, the basic thing is the trailer has nothing in it. It's vague as possibly can, which is kind of cool because it kind of intrigues you to find out what's going to be. But it doesn't seem like they've taken any what I call points from Bumblebee flick, because that was like a reset and also fun. You know, we all enjoyed that. At least the last 2 minutes.
It's the different direction that the studios. Yeah, it's the different direction the studio's taken it, because the person who did Bumblebee, he was a real G1 fan, and that's why he's so faithful to the character designs, the adaptation, and keeping it, like you say, small, more intimate, and the fact that they're supposed to be robots in disguise. They're not supposed to be everywhere that everyone can see.
Exactly.
So, you know, he wanted to do a sequel, and I would have loved him to do that, but obviously they've decided to go in a different direction. And I think they very much, it was going to be a Bumblebee 2, but then they were like, no, we're going to do Beast Wars and go in a different direction. And
my guess
we'll have to wait and see what that brings. But what I'm interested to see
they got jealous, buddy.
Because they say, because the new Prime is saying, you know, it's about your past and your future. Do you think that end battle at the end could have Megatron, Galvatron, and everything from the other movies 5 and 6 appearing, and we get sort of like this huge crossover between the prequels and the end one, and it culminates in this? Because I could see that happening right at the end of the movie.
Well, if you can remember what's happened in the last flicks, maybe that will make sense. But like me and 3 of the people sitting here, we couldn't agree on one thing. I don't think that would make a big impact on anybody, because we couldn't remember what happened. So
I think you hit the nail on the head there, Ken, about Bumblebee being smaller and more intimate. I don't know whether it was you or Lee, because you know what? As much as Shia LaBeouf gets a bad rep, for me, Spike was the anchor of those movies. Even though the second one was horrendous, third one was. Sam. Yeah, Sam. Well, Sam and Spike are the same person. You know what I mean? Like So
even his parents.
I just feel that. But I just feel that without Shia LaBeouf, I don't care unless it's a reboot and it's a remake with Spike. But you know what I mean, doing this thing.
Because
at this point, they've taken the heart of Transformers, and more importantly, they never did it right in the first place because the focus, like Bumblebee, was so great because the focus was on the robots more, with the one human character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The problem with the movies where they had many human characters that nobody cared about, where we were just yearning for the robots. Like that first movie was really well done, and you know, with the subsequent sequels, they just didn't know where or what to. You know what I mean? Like nobody gave a shit about Mark.
Yeah, no. When the film
nobody
started,
gave a fuck about Mark Wahlberg, and they didn't give a fuck about Mark Wahlberg so much that we're even in this conversation right now, we can't differentiate one movie from the other because they all kind of merge into one. Both of those movies, like I couldn't tell whether they did 4 or 5 because that's how bad those films were. You know what I mean?
True.
They took away Witwicky and. Yeah, we're left with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, and
I was gonna say, right? The weird thing is when you think about it, Shia LaBeouf's character's name is Sam Witwicky.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, yes, it's a name. Witwicky is enough of a weird enough name or unique enough name that you remember it.
Yeah.
And I remember that I think the soldier Josh Duhamel, I think his name is Lennox. Or Captain Lennox or Commander Lennox, whatever, right?
Yeah, he was always cool in those films.
Without looking it up, can anyone tell me what Mark Wahlberg's character's name is?
I haven't a clue,
Probably John.
In 2 Transformers.
Mark Wahlberg. Oh, no.
John or Jack.
No, it's not John. I can tell you now, it's Kay Diego.
Kay Diego?
Oh, gosh.
Hey, that's
a weird ass name.
That sounds like
None of us can remember it.
That sounds like a drink.
Yeah.
It does sound like a drink, yeah. Give me 3 shots of
And then
Kenan.
the whole guy dating his underage daughter and stuff. It was a weird film.
What?
But I'm like, no. It's not as bad as you think it is.
No, what?
It's weird, but it's not as bad as you think. It's not like, oh, he was like, 15 and
even Anthony Hopkins couldn't save that movie. So you know this movie is trash.
Whoa, Anthony Hopkins.
Oh my god, I had a flashback of Anthony Hopkins trying to take out Megatron with a gun. What a dumb way to go. In what universe did that guy think that was a good idea to shoot fucking some 8-foot tall thing in the head? Like that's
and people are only
foolishness.
So this movie came out in 2017 and it's been going around on like Twitter and TikTok and stuff like that recently. People are only just now realizing that Sam got killed off in that movie. So
they killed off Sam.
Sacha didn't know either. So
what?
Sam Witwicky was killed off in Transformers 5, right? When Cade reignites Optimus to bring him back alive, he's like, no, Sam, run. He was in the middle of a fight when he got taken down. He was trying to protect Sam, right? So the fact that Optimus Prime got taken down, you're like, probably didn't end well for Sam. Then when we go to Anthony Hopkins, he's telling Cade the whole history. He's like, all the Witwickies are gone. So Sam was killed in that battle.
Wow. What are you talking about? Sam was killed. Sam wasn't even in the damn movie.
Battle that Optimus Prime was trying to protect him in. Yeah.
As horrible as it sounds, I now want to watch it just because I want to hear that
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They killed off Shia LaBeouf off screen. No, man.
Off screen. So all you. So if you don't want to watch the whole movie, if you don't want to watch the whole movie, just watch the bit where he's bringing Prime back to life, and you listen to what Prime is saying, because he's like in the middle of like consciousness. He's just like, Sam, no, watch out. You can see Sam's about to get killed, and he tried to sacrifice himself to protect him or whatever it is. There was obviously a big battle going on. And then go to the part where Anthony Hopkins is explaining the whole backstory and stuff to Cade, and you'll realise that Sam's gone.
Wow.
Dropping spoilers, sorry.
Hang on, is this the 5th film?
Fifth film, the last night. The last night. Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta watch this.
It's both the fourth and the fifth film.
No, I'm not watching. I'm not watching that. I'm just going by your. I'm going by your word. I'm not wasting any more time.
I'll send you a video. I'll send you a video. I'll send you.
I'm gonna end up speaking to Joe about this, and Joe's gonna be like, "What? That's so fucking stupid." Because Joe's a huge Transformers fan.
Okay, right. Let's move on. We've got another trailer to go. Well, we've got two more. So let's go. We've got Marvel Studios Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's time to face the music. So we're going to hit this trailer in 3, 2, 1.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians. Hello, we come in peace. Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude? No! Ow! Hey!
Don't forget where we came from.
We have been running our whole lives. Pete, I'm done running.
We'll all fly away together. One last time. Into the forever and beautiful sky.
And we'll kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
Okay. What a journey James Gunn's been on, right? If you think a couple of years ago, Marvel removed him from Volume 3, even though he'd written the script. He's cast out, and basically online petitions and, you know, the fans, the cast, all wanting him back. He comes back to do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, does the Christmas special, and now he's running DC in terms of their film and TV studios. Hell of a ride for him. So I think we can all agree Guardians is one of the highlights of the MCU. The first and second film, this has potential to be maybe the best trilogy within the MCU. This movie looks like it's going to be a heartbreaker. It looks like there's going to be a lot of drama in it. There's definitely going to be fun, but if there's one thing that James Gunn does is he can pull off the he can pull both that off, the humor and the drama. It looks beautiful. It looks fantastic. But I definitely think it's going to be the end of an era for the Guardians as we know them. He said he's touched on there. They've been away for a while, so pretty much they were all snapped in Infinity War. So they've all been gone 5 years, except for Rocket, who's kind of been around. But before I go on to touch on a couple of bits, I'll just get you guys' initial thoughts, and then I'll cover a few bits to see what you guys think. So, Sal, what did you think of the trailer?
I really liked it. Not only that, it feels like this is going to be a big film. Like the snippets and what I call the scenes you're getting, it kind of gives you the context that this will be, all these things will be in it, and all for those things to be in it, it's got to be a big film. It's got to be like a 2.5 hour flick that will bring all of this together. I hope the pace is good, but I am very, very, very interested in finding it because it's also one of my favorites Marvel movies, essentially franchise, the Guardians. I mean, compared to the rest of them, this is probably my favorite one. So, but yeah, I'm hoping to good things, and it seems like they are going to hit everything, and I hope it carries on. I don't want to see the end of it, even though it hasn't started yet. I haven't seen anything. I just don't want to be the end of it as well. So let's see what happens. But I'm very excited. Very.
What did you think, Sacha?
So, my favorite MCU film is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Like, hands down. Like, that film is just phenomenal. Second one, I enjoyed it also. And I agree with you, Ken. To me, that is the best trilogy that they've done. Well, hopefully the best trilogy they've done. It was good to see the Guardians in their comic book accurate suits for the first time. Yeah, I only know, you know what? I never collected the comic books. I was aware of them, but I never really bought them. But the thing that got me really, really immersed and invested the most was probably the PS4 game, which came out recently, that everyone should play. Okay, if you own a PS4, everyone should play it because it is that good. The problem with that game is that it was published by Squaresoft that did the Avengers game. So everyone played the Avengers game, and that game wasn't that great at all. So everyone's assumption was that the Guardians game was going to suck because Squaresoft published it, but they didn't, they didn't develop it. They weren't the devs behind it. So it's a very
It didn't look like
game.
their movie counterparts. It didn't look like films in terms of character design.
Yeah, so I think that's more the Avengers game than the Guardians game. But but the Guardians game went so under the radar, and people that have actually played the game, it's amazing. Has one of the best endings in any video game. Just gonna say, put that out there. Bold statement. But if I tell you what happens, it spoils everything. So I'm not going to, okay? But all I'm going to say is, Neil, you're going to make a phone call to me when you finish it. That's all I'm going to say.
I will play it over the Christmas break.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to, if it's going quite cheap, play it. Trust me, it's that good. But that game introduced me to people like the dog. What's his name? Astro. Is it Astro the dog? Am I saying his name right? Yeah. Like that. And Adam Warlock. They got Adam Warlock in the trailer, so be interesting to see whether he, how he's implemented and stuff in this universe and the MCU, because obviously he played a big part of in the comics. He played a big part of the Infinity War, and obviously we never got him in there. So, but it's going to be interesting to see his dynamic with the Guardians, because he's a bit of a dick. So I want to see how that plays out. Definitely. Loving the score of the music, in the meantime, by Royston Campton. So be interesting to see how epic this is. But I'm telling you, if Rocket dies in this, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be upset because it looks like that's what they're going for, man. They're properly going into response and stuff.
I can see that as being what's going to happen, because Rocket's been around for those 5 years without them, and I think they're going to come back and he's going to be reunited with them. And one of the big teases, obviously, he's got a bit of a monologue in this, and there does seem to be certain elements which teases to that. One of the other things I did notice is the foreshadowing that the title cards produce. So in each of the posters, so the first poster, that's the colouring of Guardians of the Galaxy is like the brown and gold, which is the colour of Groot, who died. The second one is blue, and Yondu dies. This one is black, which is Rocket. So it could be a little bit of foreshadowing there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went in this, but my guy's going to break my heart if he does. The other person I thought it could be is Drax, because he's pretty much gone on record, Dave Bautista, saying this is the last time he's playing him. So he's done the holiday special, he's done this. Now, I don't know if that's because either the character dies or they've just said, right, we're not having the Guardians anymore, or they'll just have certain characters appear throughout the MCU at different points. But for me, Rocket's got a huge part to play moving forward, and because he is a CGI character who's just voiced, it should be easier to incorporate him in future and other projects. But he's probably the heart of that team now. And so if you're going to pull out our hearts, he's probably going to be the character to go.
Well, I was going to say, right, that James Gunn went on record and said two things. One, he said, this is the last time you'll see this iteration of the Guardians.
Correct.
Okay.
And secondly, he said there is one major character death.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that in the trailer, Rocket says, you know what, I'm done running.
Yeah.
Kind of
take a stand.
Says, like, it does, you know, he's going to take a stand. Like, usually in most action films, comic book films, when people are like, I'm done running, I'm going to take a stand, that shit don't end well.
No, it does not.
That don't end well. Like, if there's ever a situation and then somebody's like, I'm done running, I'm like, all right, you just stand over there while you done running. I'll stand here.
The thing I'm wondering whether it could be Drax is because, again, you know, the physical toll that it plays on Batista in terms of preparing for that role and stuff like that. And I know that obviously he had a lot of screen time on the holiday special. And I'm wondering whether that leans into the fact that maybe this is the last time that we're going to see him because he got the screen time in that one. And he was kind of downplayed in this trailer. To me, if it was Rocket, it's a bit too obvious. And so I'm wondering whether it's that kind of switch and bait and actually he's going to protect Rocket because, you know, they've had a couple of nice moments. I think, you know, even at the end of that first movie, he sat there and he's like stroking his head and stuff like that. And I'm just wondering whether actually he is going to, you know, sacrifice himself for the, you know, for the team because he's probably the least emotional character left. But maybe that's, you know, what brings him to do it. So I don't know. But Will Poulter, as like you said, it's Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock, he looks fantastic. He looks in great shape, and he's powered by the Soul Stone, right? So I'm interested. No. Is he not?
That's comic book.
Oh, that's comic book, right? Okay, fine. So in the movies, obviously, that isn't necessarily established. He was, but we got a tease of Adam Warlock at the end of, was it the second one?
Yeah,
where he's in the chamber, but we never actually get to see the character, and they're like, yeah, okay. But Sal, what did you think of the trailer?
I already talked, didn't I?
Oh, you spoke about it, right? Haven't you?
Yeah. I was the first one.
I
was the first one.
Lee, what did you think?
Yeah.
I think it. I mean, it is a good trailer. I don't think it gave too much away. Like you say, the little snippets of sort of giving you ideas. But and I agree with Sal. I think it's if this is going to be the sort of third and final sort of, like you say, iteration of this group of Guardians, it's going to be epic. It's going to be a big movie. So, but yeah, I think the trailer didn't give too much away at all, which is really good. You don't, because some trailers just show you like the whole movie, and So no, it was good. It's a good trailer. It's going to be sad. As much as I want to see it, I don't want to see it because I think the Guardians of the Galaxy is like slightly different to all the other MCU characters we got there. They were sort of like a fresh bunch of characters. They're different characters. They've all got their own personalities, and they shouldn't make a good team because they are so different, but they come together. It's just they're a great bunch of characters, and to think that we're not going to be seeing them again, or they're going to change, and like you say, there's going to be a death. It is going to pull on the heartstrings a bit, especially for you, Ken. The waterworks gal.
Yeah,
is going to be high on this one.
Exactly, absolutely, no doubt.
But no, it's obviously it's Guardians, so it's going to be a roller coaster ride of emotion because they're fun. You're going to have the funny moments, then you're obviously going to have the real emotional moments. But I'm really looking forward to seeing.
I mean, that scene in there where Star-Lord is screaming, it looks like maybe somebody's on the operating table and him screaming. Yeah. That looked powerful. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, some things are going to go down in this film. Neil, what do you think?
There's another thing I wanted to have. Sorry, is that in the Christmas bit they've put in that what's her name? That she's his sister.
Mantis.
Mantis. That's
so she's also the daughter of.
I wonder if that's going to play in the movie as well. There must be the reason why they brought that up in the Christmas.
Oh,
if that's the spoiler for anyone who's watching this and hasn't watched the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Spoiler warning. You're lucky it's early on in the actual episode. So yeah, but look, maybe he's just got a family member, and then suddenly he loses her. You don't know. Did she go?
All I thought of the trailer. It's weird. It's not a. How can I put it? It's not a bad trailer, but in comparison to the last two Guardians of the Galaxy trailers, it's not as hype-inducing. Maybe that's because, like, you know, it's going to be such a different story in comparison. Because with both the other two Guardians movies, like, I mean, just like, forget there's a whole MCU, just those two Guardians movies alone, they're very kind of fun-loving, and the way that the trailer presents itself is fun-loving. Yeah. This is, you know, oh, you know, you like old school music? Bam, this is for you. You like comedy and action and you know, quirky characters? Bam, this is for you. This one is like, prepare yourselves.
Yeah, it's true.
Might not end well.
It's true. Okay, any more thought? The other thing I wanted to point out is some people didn't realize this, and again, spoilers if you haven't seen the Guardians Christmas special, but the Groot we know now is not the Groot from the first movie. So a lot of people thought it was like a reincarnation of the original Groot, but it's not. It's Groot's son. So it's not the same thing. But so many people didn't know that until James Gunn mentioned it about the Christmas special. And people were like, what? I never realized. I always kind of got that. I never thought it was the same one. But for a lot of people thought it was the original.
Common knowledge from Guardians too.
That's what I thought. But apparently a lot of people missed it. But no, it's just a thing. Okay, any final thoughts on Guardians?
I'm not the biggest fan of the designer Groot.
The new Groot?
Right now. Yeah, like he looked like I said, he looked like he'd been on that plunge.
Yeah, he's like 18, 19 now, isn't he? He's just like hitting puberty, hitting the gym, doing
wedge.
Exactly. In Infinity War, he's like a young teenager. He was like really skinny and stuff, you know. Now he's like bulked out, but he does look a bit odd. It is a bit strange to see. But that back-to-back gun spin, that looked kind of cool. And he's obviously got all the extra branches coming out holding the guns and stuff. Yeah, that was kind of cool. Okay, so we're just going to move on to our final trailer. God, this has been a long show, but this is this film. Okay, so this next trailer we're watching is Cocaine Bear. It is directed by what's her name? She directed Charlie's Angels.
Elizabeth
Banks. Yeah. So this is her movie. She said it was kind of inspired by Sam Raimi. And when she said that, I can definitely see that and understand that. It's based on a true story, loosely. So the true story is basically a bear was found dead in the woods, and they realized the cause of death was he'd overdosed on cocaine because he'd found a bag of cocaine who had been dropped through by a known drug dealer who was arrested, and he got into it. That's where it's based on. It was not the blood.
The bag was next to the bear, man. The bag was next to the bear.
Exactly.
There's like tons of cocaine.
So, but hey, let's go watch this. Yeah. So if you haven't watched this trailer, you're in for a bit of a treat. So let's watch Cocaine Bear, due out next year. We're going to hit that in 3, 2, 1.
Medic!
Oh, Jesus. What is that?
Beth, we should go.
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine fell from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee.
There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
I'm looking for my daughter. Forest is a dangerous place.
Hey, Henry, check it out. Something got into it. A deer, maybe.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it.
No, don't eat that, don't eat that. Let's see what kind of effect that has on
The bear. It fucking did cocaine. A bear did cocaine.
There was a bear.
A bear?
It was 4.
Hey, that's inappropriate.
safe. Bears can't climb trees.
Of course I can.
Higher, baby.
Oh shit.
Get higher, baby.
It kind of seems like the thing that stays with a man forever.
Apex predator. High on cocaine. Out of his mind. Oh man, you fucked.
What the fuck is wrong with that bear? Shoot it, man! Bear, speed up!
Get higher, baby. And don't ever come down.
We have such good luck in nature.
That's film looks jokes. I don't care. That's like on my top 10 I most anticipated for next year. That film looks absolutely ridiculous fun. Holy shit! It's a throwback movie. It's stupid. It's fun. It looks like there's some killer timing in terms of the humor on there. You know, I have to say that Elizabeth Banks herself is a fantastic comedian, and yeah, it looks great. Ray Liotta, one of his final performances, obviously, is in this movie. You got Kerry Russell, O'Shea Jackson Jr. Yeah, it looks like a decent cast as well. But it's the ridiculousness of it that you just got to embrace it, right?
Yeah.
Just switch off and enjoy. Neil, what do you think?
That is just a madness. But I'm here for it. I think, like we often say, like within, the context of the podcast, that we often say like, oh, this film's bad or this film's good, and I was like, sometimes you just need a film that you're just going to sit down and just be like, yeah, I just want chaos. And this film is just going to be chaos.
Yeah.
Like, from the time when the bear is like sliding on its back towards the guy, I was like, yep, I'm here for it. And what's his name? Aldrin Air, right?
Alden Ehrenreich.
Han Solo in Solo movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Oh, is he in that?
Yeah, like him.
Yeah. He's the producer saying the bear took cocaine, the bear's on cocaine. Yeah, that's him.
Oh, shit.
Because trying to explain that, I'm like, that's gonna be a moment in comedy forever.
Yeah. Oh, just brilliant. That final shot of that leap into the back. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid, but it's so funny. It's like bears going
And he
crazy.
likes the cocaine as well.
Yeah.
The funniest bit is where he's going up the tree to get the kid, and then he spots that the guy's got cocaine in the other tree. So he jumps down and then goes up the other tree because he wants the coke.
He's not killing the people. He's after the coke.
Off the dude's leg. Snorts cocaine off the guy's severed leg. I was like, yep.
Lee, what do you think?
Brilliant. Yeah, nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, it probably did show quite a lot of the movie. Well, I think it showed quite a lot of the movie. But yeah, you just want to see more of it, don't you? Really fun. And like you say, it's not hiding what it is. It looks like it's going to be a fun movie. I think maybe this could be the replacement for Michael Myers, maybe the slasher movie, with the claws.
Next one,
put a mask on the vet,
Next one will be called like Cocaine Bear 2 Recovery or something like that. He breaks out of the rehab center on search for some more coke. Right, Sal, what do you think?
I love them. It's like the parody of Jaws, like Piranhas, and this is a parody of every damn thing, Like just it's silly, stupid. Let's have fun, sort of thing. And I hope it does well because Banks' last movie with the Charlie's Angels, I mean, that was dog shit, and I hope this does well. I don't think that made any money, but people don't make these kind of movies anymore, So it should be a good, refreshing a thing to see. So I'm hoping good things, especially from a 20-second
movie you
soundbite
think
movie.
you catch on streaming, right?
Yeah.
It's the type of film you think, okay, it's a streaming budget type movie and stuff like that. So the fact that it's getting a theatrical release and stuff like that is great, because we do need this more of these type of movies. We can't. Not everything has to be either the Oscar movie or it has to be a superhero movie.
This was what we used to call the
things happening in our lives.
Yeah. These sort of the movies we used to call the fillers of the year, right? Then you had the Oscar, like the moment that late fall, and you had the blockbusters throughout the summer, and exactly. So time like in between, like the winter break and like the Valentine break, you had shit like this.
Award season,
exactly. So you just sat there and you go like, oh, you want to watch this movie? It's like, what is it about? It's like, I don't know. Things blow up. Let's go watch it, and that's it. So you want to see a bear eat people? Let's go. There used to be tons of movies like that,
the
right?
bear could well get an Oscar through this movie.
Yeah.
The bear is a method actor, and he had to actually do the coke.
He lost out on the Oscar for Revenant, so he's come back.
You can get it for the Revenant. The bear can get it for this.
Exactly. People's like, oh, the bear might show. It's like, don't worry.
He's like, it's my year this year. They got my name in the title.
In that movie, Leo is wearing meat. In this movie, I'm wearing people. It's like, come on, let's go. Sacha, what do you think of the trailer?
Insane, man. Absolutely insane. I was sold by the name alone. Before I even saw the trailer, I was sold. I saw the image of the bear on the and read the name. I was like, I'm balls deep into this movie. This is it right here. Because this is just it. This is the kind of horror movie I dig. You know what I mean? Where it's not taking itself seriously. It's jokes. I mean, Neil's got a perfect example of one of my favorite movies of all time right there with Planet Terror. If you've not seen Planet Terror, just look at the poster. Just look at the poster. You got a girl with a machine gun for a leg. I'm in. You know what I mean? I don't even know what that is, but you know what I mean? All I know is from that one image, this is jokes. We're going to have a good time and let's chill out and just watch some madness. And that's what this movie just needs to be. Just absolute insaneness. I mean, with the kid, the thing that sold me even more on the trailer was the kid on the tree, just like, that bear is fucked. You know what I mean? It's just, oh my god, man! Just the fact you've got drug dealers and like random people in the park and the police. This is the type of film I would make. Yeah. Like literally.
Right.
Like this is the kind of stuff that I come up with, man, and it's just kind of like, yes, I want to see this. Like, fuck yes.
Oh, it does well because
I mean that's it. It's about inspiration of a movie where. It's grabbing inspiration from small stories. So, like you say, you've seen a story. Bear died of cocaine. Then it's like, what if? Oh my god, what if you had a movie where a bear was on cocaine? That's this movie. Yeah. There was the Kevin Smith movie, like Tusk. It was based on a very small, real life advert of this guy who wanted somebody to dress up in a walrus outfit and stuff like that. You can make these movies based on something very, very simple, but it's taking the simplest of ideas and having fun with it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's absolutely, Sash, like you started to say, type of movie that we would totally make. So. Yeah, full on board for it.
I watched Zack and Miri.
Okay, any other final thoughts on Cocaine Bear?
Sorry.
Is that the type of movie you'd make? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that I watched it last night. I thought it still works because I thought, the first time you watch it and you go like, that was funny, you don't watch it again. But I watched it last night and it was hilarious. I was like, why didn't he do shit like this more, He got stuck in his own head. He's doing the same thing again and again. But yeah. It's funny. No, I hope this thing does well, man, because it will bring back the alligator, people eating alligator, the people eating fish, people eating mouse, whatever it is.
Like classic, right?
Yeah, remember all those films used to come in. I mean, there's so many of those, and they used to be fun and very stupid. All the slasher movies, they're all gone now. Nobody's making them, and I hope it does well, so it brings it back. At least, even on the streaming, it brings it back. It'll be fun. Yeah. Anyway. Let's move on.
Maybe we'll do a creative control, like, bringing back the horror slasher type movies and which ones we would do.
Animals eating people movies.
Or what animals we would bring. What animals would we put out on a killing spree?
Exactly.
What influence. Cool. All right.
Just know I've written a script that is as wild as we imagine it to be.
Nice. Just want to touch on, I know I introduced Andreas at the beginning of the show, but he had some technical issues and then couldn't get back on. So, but thanks for trying, Andreas. Sorry we missed you today. I'd like to hear your thoughts, but he tried, it didn't happen. But that's pretty much it from us. So this is a really long episode. So what I will do is I'm going to put in time points. So if anybody wants to watch a reaction or talk about a particular film, they can jump to those segments and stuff like that. But look, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Looks like Sacha maybe had to bounce early. But look, for our listeners out there, thank you very much for joining us. If you've managed to stick with us this long, thank you. Like I said, if you're watching on YouTube or not, please make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate those subscribers. And you can find our podcast on all major platforms. So if you're on YouTube and you just want to listen to it, you can find us anywhere. And that's it. So pretty much until next time, thank you very much, gentlemen. Peace out.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.